I feel like I'm losing my mind.
Behind the glitz and glamour of the Korean entertainment industry, filled with strategy, camera flashes, and agency maneuvers, there's one figure who's captured the public's attention in a different way, simpler, more honest, and more human. He's Kim Taehyung, better known to the world by his stage name, V of BTS. Interestingly, this time it wasn't a spectacular stage performance or a major release that made his name a topic of conversation. Quite the opposite. Taehyung captivated the world through his silence, his calm demeanor, and his courage to walk alone. In recent months, the public has witnessed Taehyung's presence at various occasions, both formal and casual. There was no large entourage, no overprotectiveness, and even no grand narrative from an agency that typically manages an artist's image. He came as he was, as himself. And that's precisely what made his aura even stronger. Many wondered where his agency went when his name was dragged into rumors and issues. There was no lengthy clarification, no official defense. However, instead of wallowing in doubt or anger, Taehyung chose to remain silent. Silence doesn't mean weakness, but rather the elegant attitude of someone who believes that the truth will speak in time. While others might have fought back with harsh words, Taehyung responded with a warm smile, with his work, and with a maturity that surprised many. He appeared on live broadcasts, greeting fans sincerely, sharing his truest side, without pretense, without masks. And ARMY, the community that has always supported BTS, truly felt that honesty. They saw not only an idol on stage, but also a human being who dared to stand alone without the support of a system. Support poured in, not just because of his popularity, but because of the sincerity Taehyung displayed in every step. Some observers have called Taehyung a free artist who knows his limits. He doesn't need a big company name to be known internationally. He doesn't chase the spotlight in the usual ways. Instead, every appearance, even the simplest, captivates thousands of eyes. When attending events abroad without a large escort, his authority is powerful. He may be walking alone, but the energy he radiates makes everyone pause. He enters without announcement, leaving an impression that can't be ignored. That's why many people are starting to see Taehyung not just as V from BTS, but as Kim Taehyung the artist, a person who balances global fame with a simple life, a figure who teaches that being a star doesn't always have to be wrapped up in complicated strategies. Interestingly, the music he produces as a solo artist also reinforces this image. Rather than following instant trends or guaranteed to sell business formulas, Taehyung presents deeply personal work, emotional, reflective, and full of honesty. It doesn't sound like a commercial product, but more like a portrait of a soul expressed through melody. This is what has led many observers to call him a representative of a new generation of Korean artists. Artists who don't just chase numbers, but maintain the integrity of their message. He doesn't hesitate to experiment with calm sounds, slow tempos, or lyrics that are far from cliché. And the result? It just makes people even more curious. Even without a major promotional push from his agency, Taehyung's popularity hasn't waned. On the contrary, more and more new faces outside the BTS fandom began to recognize him, were drawn to his distinct demeanor, and ultimately fell in love with his authenticity. The ARMY didn't stop online. They showed up in person, buying his work, writing their support in international media, and even organizing campaigns to correct the misconceptions directed at him. Some even wrote open letters to HYB, demanding justice and the protection that an artist of Taehyung's stature deserves. But once again, Taehyung never complained. There were no loud statements, no drama. He continued to walk with a firm step, as if to say that his success was his own, not a gift from anyone. This is what makes his story so touching. Taehyung doesn't come across as a loud-voiced hero. He comes across as a gentle yet steadfast human being, proving that true strength doesn't always come from cheers, but from a calm heart. Meanwhile, international media began to highlight the other side of this story. Many criticized how the entertainment industry often neglects the mental health and emotional well-being of its artists. Taehyung's name is often cited as a prime example, an artist who remains professional despite not always receiving optimal support. One pop culture journalist even called this phenomenon a form of silent revolution, a subtle yet powerful way to demonstrate one's existence, even when the system isn't entirely on their side. Ultimately, Taehyung's story isn't just about an idol walking alone. It's a deeper reflection on how personal strength can grow precisely when formal protection is lost, about how solitude can be a space for growth, not a reason to collapse. And perhaps this is the greatest paradox. When left alone, Taehyung grows stronger. When he loses protection, he becomes more real. And when the world sees him without filters, they fall in love even more. Taehyung is more than just a K-pop star. He is now a symbol of sincerity, consistency, and courage. In his silence, he builds trust. In his simplicity, he creates an impact. And through his lonely journey, he shows the true meaning of eternal love between an artist and his fans.